You are about to enjoy a production of the Ella Wellness Network. This is Wellness Fixes the Pod. I'm your host, Dr. Kelsey Vick, and we are about to get hotter and smarter in 5. Let's get into it. This episode is inspired by a recent conversation I had with a friend about gua sha and dry brushing. So let's get hotter and smarter in 5 as we chat about our body's natural detoxification system, the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is our body's natural detox system. So it's in charge of our immune response, keeping foreign invaders and pathogens out of the way, and it's also in charge of fluid balance. We have a lot of different organs in our body that help with the immune response. Some of them act like college for our immune cells so that they can mature and grow and get weeded out if they are not ready for the task at hand, so that we are having the best of the best immune cells working for us. The other organs also just help with the general immune response, detoxification, and again, fluid balance that are the goals of our lymphatic system. We also have various lymphatic vessels throughout our body. And if you Google a picture, you can see that the lymphatic system looks like a spider web, like we look like Spider-Man underneath the skin with the amount of lymphatic vessels that we have winding and twisting and turning throughout our entire body. And these lymphatic vessels are super duper important. First off, they lie really close underneath the skin. So if we have really deep pressure, we're actually targeting deeper than the lymphatic system. So if we're ever doing lymphatic massage or gua sha, the important thing is to note that these vessels lie super duper close to the skin. So it only requires light pressure. If we go anything deeper, we could damage those vessels. Now, these vessels collect waste from a lot of different processes within our body. So when we work out, we have waste that's produced. When we breathe, we have waste that's produced. When our metabolism is active, we have waste produced. So all of this waste gets collected by these lymphatic vessels that then send that fluid called lymph to these checkpoints throughout our body called lymph nodes. And we can actually feel these lymph nodes. You can feel them in your armpit. You can usually feel them right under your chin and your groin. Like you can oftentimes feel it. And when you're sick, you can feel them get a little bit more firm as well. But these lymph nodes act as checkpoints to, again, clear out that lymph, detox it, clear out some of the waste, so that as it keeps riding along through the lymphatic system, going through all of these checkpoints, it can get clearer and clearer and more clean, and more detoxification can happen so that the lymph can eventually enter back into our bloodstream and into our circulatory system to start the whole process over again. When there is damage to our lymphatic system, there can be swelling and a backup of that lymph fluid. So anytime you press on your shin or calf and you notice that there is what we call pitting, so there's an indentation in that area that stays, that's a sign that your lymphatic system is either working in overdrive or it's damaged in some way. So in order to help our lymphatic system, when there is swelling or when there is a backup or when there is something that our body is fighting, we have to make sure that we're using light pressure and that we're doing things in a way that clears out some of the checkpoints closer to the heart, so that as we're clearing out some of these checkpoints and some of this lymphatic fluid that's further away from the heart, it has an easier path to return back to the heart. So two very key points of the lymphatic system: 1, it lies close to the skin. 2, always clear out the areas closer to the trunk and closer to the heart first before you clear out the areas further away, so that again, those areas that are coming from further away have an easier time and don't back up at each checkpoint along the pathway. So different gua sha, dry brushing, and lymphatic tips to keep our lymphatic systems functioning so optimally. 1, again, it lies close to the skin. I'm gonna drill this in, but light pressure. Anything too deep can damage some of those vessels and some of those lymph nodes. So keep things light. Again, we also want to start close to the trunk. Clear out all those checkpoints close to the heart. That way, as we're moving fluid throughout the system, it can have an easier pathway, easier transition back to the heart. You might experience challenges with your lymphatic system when flying because of the pressure differences. So that's where compression comes into play. Our lymphatic system in general is a very low pressure system. So if you think about our cardiovascular system and sending blood to other parts of our bodies, our organs, our muscles. It's a very high powered system. Our lymphatic system is oftentimes working against gravity, and it's a very low pressure system. So utilizing compression can help increase that pressure gradient to allow that fluid to return back to the heart so that our body is not swelling because of gravity lower down the chain. So that, again, you might see that with flying. And then lastly, exercise. Exercise uses our muscles to help contract around those lymphatic vessels to help create this more high pressure environment in order to send that lymph fluid back up and back to the heart. So here's to always gua shaing lightly in order to take care of our lymphatic system and getting hotter and smarter in 5. I'll see you guys next time.